Welcome to the Excelsior Health Podcast. This is the podcast for busy professionals, busy parents who are looking to transform their health by losing fat and building strength. What we do on the podcast, guys, we take the complicated aspects of fitness and we break it down to simple, understandable strategies and tactics that you can implement into your everyday lifestyle and see real results. I'm your host, Coach Cory Fernandez. I am the owner of Training for Warriors Sauga. And today, guys, we are continuing our mini-series on the 5 myths that's holding back the busy professional from transforming their health. Previous episodes, what we talked about, we talked about how you're believing right now you don't have enough time. Also, you're believing that, hey, I got to do cardio. I got to do this like 7 days a week for me to be able to see the results. And really, you don't. What we need to do is we need to focus on strength training 3 to 4 days a week, and we're going to see some real change. Now, reminder, transforming your health. I just want to be clear. There's so many different areas that falls, but the way we look at it in terms of the Excelsior Health podcast is, hey, like we want you to be able to perform. You know, we want you to be strong, but we want you to be at a very healthy body fat. You know, so for most women, it's getting under the 30%. That 25 to 29 is like you're in the healthy category. But if you really want to take things up a notch and get even more fit and even more lean and more definition, for a lot of women, hey, getting in those teens, you know, whether it's 15 to 24%, that's a really good place to get to. For our males, getting you under the 20% body fat, you know, 17 to 20, you're a healthy guy. But taking it up a notch to getting really more into the fit, lean, athletic body, anywhere from 10 to 15% is a great place to maintain. All right. So what's our myth today? The myth that I have for you guys today is you believe that I can just do it by myself and I'll just save the money. I can't afford it. That's the myth that I have for most busy professionals that are stopping themselves from transforming their health. So I'll give you guys a couple scenarios. Scenario number one is like, think about the best people in the world, the best at what they do. You know, whether it's they're the best at bodybuilding, they're the best at sports. Michael Jordan, Usain Bolt, Michael Phelps, Tom Brady, actors, Tom Cruise, Will Smith. You know, all these people, the things that they have in common is they have coaching. They have mentorship. They have people that are pushing them, whether it's with their practice, their training, their rehearsals, to do more. Even though they're the best in the world, the person who's coaching them isn't better than them at doing it, but they're taking their guidance and their coaching because they know if someone is on them, keeping them accountable, making them aware of the things that they're not seeing, they're going to get more out of themselves. They're going to get themselves to championship levels. So this is why I say for most busy professionals, yes, you might be able to make positive changes. And yes, you might be able to train by yourself. But if you're not where you want to be, if you're not in the healthy category, if you're not as fit as you want to be, the likelihood that you're going to just have the discipline, have the awareness, have the consistency and the intensity and do it by yourself is very difficult to do. So what I would strongly recommend and what most people that are fitness professionals is, invest into a coach who has gotten the results that you've wanted themselves personally, or they have a great track record of helping people just like you achieve the results that you want. Another part of this myth is that, you know, you do it by yourself, not because you want to. You know, like it's more enjoyable and more fun and you get better results when you do it with a coach or with other people. It's because you don't want to pay for it. You think, you know what, I got more important things that I got to spend on and my mortgage and my car payments. And I get it. Those things are important, but there's nothing more important than your health and fitness. And most busy professionals that are in an unhealthy state, you're unhealthy partly because of where you're allocating your resources. So for example, if I were to open up, your credit card or your bank statements, I guarantee the amount of money that it would cost to have a coach who can guide you and help you get to your results faster and further and more enjoyable, you're spending that money, and I'll tell you the main places, you're spending it on food, and not food that's like salmon and steak and eggs and like the things that are actually going to make you healthy. You're spending it on fast food and junk food that's taking you away from your goals, making you feel more lethargic, making you feel more overweight, making you feel more inflamed. So that's one area. You're also probably spending it on like distractions, right? So it might be like social events to just make the time pass. It might be distractions in terms of like streaming services that you have. And you guys know what I'm talking about. We got Netflix, we got Disney, we got Paramount, we got Apple TV, the list goes on, right? So the money that you're thinking about, it's there, but we're just spending it in different things that are taking us away from our goals. And you might be like, okay, that's easy for you to say, coach. Guys, I'm telling you right now, I'm about to be in business at Training for Warrior Sauga. We're about to be in 10 years in business, which I'm super, super proud of. For the 10 years that I've been in business, I want to say probably 90% of the time, I've had a coach in my life mentoring me on how to be better in my business. And a lot of the things, I know how to do it. I've done it. I've gotten the skills, but I'm not going to do it as good if I don't have someone who's, holding me accountable, calling me out when I'm not stepping up to where I should be. That's what coaching does. It gets you to perform at a higher level and gets more out of you than what you would do on your own. So that's in my own personal life where I've seen myself always grow when I was an athlete playing sports. It's a coach. Even when I started my fitness journey, I invested into coaches. And that's another side note is if you're working with a coach who they themselves have never had a coach to mentor them, whether it's in their business life or it's in their fitness life, I don't know if that's the best coach, because some of the best coaches and the best athletes, best business people in the world, they invest in leadership and coaching to make themselves better. So if we break it down, just taking a look at a couple things, like when you're sitting there thinking, man, should I invest in a coach? So a typical personal training session, let's say if you wanted to go that route, in Mississauga, Toronto, you're looking at anywhere from $80 to $100 per session, right? To get one-on-one. If you were to do a program like Training for Warrior Sauga, where we take a personal training approach, but we do it in a small group environment. So instead of one-on-one, where it gets kind of boring and you're not as motivated to push yourself because it's just you and maybe you're comfortable with the coach, you're with a small group. So you get inspired by the people around you, their efforts, their results, what they're training, their energy levels, but then also you still have a coach who's motivating you. So for us, we call that experience personal strength training. And typically our sessions, they range from $30 to $50 per session based on how frequently someone comes, right? So let's just say $600 a month someone's investing for their membership. Or again, you can go one-on-one. Let's say you did 3 days a week of that. That's $300. That's more closer to like $1,200 a month that some people would be paying for one-on-one. Okay? The point is, guys, that $600 a month, when you guys break that down to a weekly value, that's $150 per week. If you go into your spending choices, you can find so many things where you're spending $50 here, $40 here, $100 there, especially on the social side of things. And what's really cool is your gym, especially if it's a higher value gym in a personal training type studio like at Training for Warrior Sauga, it becomes a part of your social life. So not only are you doing the things to transform your health, you're also tapping into the social aspect and having fun and building relationships, because oftentimes these places, they have events, You meet people, your training session, you're doing something that's hard and strenuous and uncomfortable, but there's still these little moments of like laughter, enjoyment, high fives, social connection with people. And then on taking it another step further, if you're someone who, like me, who's always thinking about, man, how do I make a return on my investment, my time and effort? When you're in a place like a personal training studio, you're around other higher net worth individuals, people that are building businesses. They have great careers. They can help you in different areas of your life. But also, too, you're just around really cool people that you never know, like some of your best friends, your best relationships. We even have people that get married and engaged and all these things here. So this is an added value outside of what you're taking from just the training and the results. So that's one thing that I want you guys to connect, is that what's worth it? Is it going by yourself, having to keep yourself disciplined in terms of showing up to the gym, tracking the weights by yourself, spotting yourself, designing the workouts, scanning ChatGPT and YouTube for the ideal workout program, when things are going chaotic in your life, holding yourself accountable? Is that worth it to save $150 per week? I just don't think it is. And most people, they look at that $600 and they think it's so, man, this is so, $600 for most of us, if we're cutting out the other junk in our life, it's not taking away from our mortgage. It's not taking away from cars. It's not taking away from like food on the table. It's taking away from the distractions and the other crap that we don't need. That's the reality of it. So my main point with this episode is the myth, the belief that you need to break is not that you can't do it by yourself. It's more like, should you do it by yourself? Should you make life harder? And here's another point that I'll say is, this happens a lot in our program, is not everybody's going to stay with you. Like, that's just the reality. Like, you're going to have people for seasons. My goal, is like, I think 3 years is an amazing time to make a deep impact on someone's habits and their results. So I'm always so blessed when I have someone for that long. But sometimes you have people for a year, you have people for 6 months. But I notice typically around that 3-year mark, sometimes it's even earlier, it's people, they got the results. Like they got where they wanted to be. They're performing at a level that they didn't think they were capable of. And even training and fitness, it's like easy for them now. It's like they got it. They figured it out. It's like there's quote that I heard is like, when training 4 days a week, like when you don't do those workouts and you feel weird, that's like you made it. Where most people showing up 3 to 4 days a week, it feels weird and uncomfortable. So when you've gotten to that point, what I notice sometimes with our clients, they lose the value, where they're like, man, like, it's easy for me. Let me just go do it on my own. But then my argument back, and I try to persuade some of our clients, is like, this is easy for you now. This is enjoyable for you now. Why make this more difficult? When you have kids to raise, you have bills to pay, you have careers to focus on, you have relationships to nurture, why add another thing of complexity to your life when you've spent the last 1, 2, 3 years making it easy for you? Is it worth the $100 and $150 per week to add that complexity to your life? So what I would want you guys to say is, again, evaluate your expenses as an action step. Are there things that you can cut back on? I guarantee you, start with food, start with social aspects, and then I guarantee you're going to be able to make room for some sort of fitness. Maybe it's not an all, program where it's nutrition coaching, unlimited training, but I'm pretty sure you can find somewhere in your budget to spend 2 days a week with a coach. That might encourage you to eat a little bit better. That might encourage you to train 2 or 3 more days on your own, because you still have that mentorship in your life. So with today's quick episode, guys, that's the myth that we're breaking is, guys, don't do it on your own. Just because you could doesn't mean you should. And one of the best investments you will ever make to yourself is your health. The car that you're paying, it's going to go away. You're going to sell it. It's going to get damaged. Your house, hey, it's beautiful. You got to have a nice house, but the thing that's going to travel with you all the time, and it's going to be a reflection of you, it's your body and it's your health. All right. So hopefully this quick episode hit home with you guys today. Share this one out. And then again, keep staying tuned for more of our episodes as we finish this mini series. Coach Cory signing out. Beastin'.